2 of us have a parent with dementia.
5 of us have a grandparent with dementia.
3 of us live with a person with dementia.
And 2 of us have had to watch our loved one go into residential care.
2 of us felt our families tried to protect us from knowing about the dementia.
But both of us had already worked out something was wrong.
5 of us have found that our siblings react differently than we do.
Only 2 of us knew much about dementia before it happened to somebody that we loved.
And none of us found it easy to get support.
1 of us identifies as a young carer.
1 of us has felt the impact on our schooling.
3 of us have felt the impact on our friendships.
Yet all of us have felt the impact on our family relationships.
And all of us have been
And continue to be
impacted by dementia in our families. My grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's when I was 5, 6. And I just remember being little, very little, and he used to play with us lots. But then when he developed Alzheimer's, became a lot more shaky and wasn't able to do stuff with us anymore. So yeah, our relationship definitely changed a lot.
I'm sort of like the parent in the relationship. So I drive her places, or I pay for her food, or I book her appointments. So the roles have sort of shifted. So we've swapped roles in a sense.
I think for me, because the boys don't live with Grandad, so my relationship with Grandad has gone a little bit further because I do live with him, because we never really hung out a lot, and the boys have a lot more in common than him, like soccer and footy and cricket and stuff. So I have no interest in any of those. So yeah, I think that's what's made our relationship stronger. I watch TV and watch tennis with him now. So I actually have an interest in what he's got, because I know that he doesn't have that long, and you've got to start making an effort to be with him more. And yeah, I see him a lot more.
My dad's dementia affects his behaviour, so he's really different. We used to be really close, but now he's just, you can't have a conversation with him because he'll say something that just sets you off. And then when I found out he had dementia, then I started to try not to get into fights with him anymore. And it's hard to, try to ignore him when sometimes he just tries to start fights with me. I don't know why. But
we have played chess with our granddad. That's what I remember when I was younger. Yeah, because my sister.
There's no way you can understand.
Yeah.
Can't do anything. The rules or anything.
She slowly forgot words or places where she was going or how to get there. And then she forgot her glasses and keys and phone. So it was just everyone does that, I do that. But then Dad picked it up first, and then he was no, there's something wrong.
Something that triggered it was she got stuck in a flood or something and she didn't know what to do, and after that we sort of knew that she couldn't drive anymore because she was getting really, really anxious. But I get along with her pretty well. She used to be quite strict before she had the dementia, but now she's sort of more relaxed and she spends more time in bed and she spends more time watching TV.
We went to the doctor and they said that it was depression and anxiety. So then she got tablets for that. But then a friend said she might have early menopause. So we went to another doctor and then she got treated for that. But then we eventually, she just got worse. So when we found out she's got Alzheimer's, we sort of just were that explains all these sort of things. She got it when I started high school, but she only got diagnosed when I was year 10.
And then my other grandma, it's a lot worse. She doesn't really take care of her hygiene anymore. She forgets to feed herself. So she's got pretty bad dementia, but she still remembers our names. When she sees us, she remembers us. But she had a frame with a picture of just these 2 models, and she thought that was me and my sister. So she was telling everyone that, these were her grandchildren. A lot of, I think it's carers or OTs or someone are telling my parents that she should go into aged care because she's getting worse and worse, but she wants to stay home and my grandpa wants to do what he thinks is best for her, but it's not working out. So it's difficult because a lot of fights start around that topic.
But I know that my mum said about 10 years ago, I think Dad's getting Alzheimer's, Mum. And then Mum's just like, no, he's not. Yeah. So maybe my grandma was just trying to hide.
I think in my family, the person who it's affected the most is probably my grandmother, because she's in her mid to late 60s right now, and she's known my grandfather since she was 16, so a very long time. And she has been feeling it the most because she has now been separated from him because he's been in aged care and she's just been coming in to visit on certain days.
I have a younger sister and she's actually a lot younger than I am, and she hasn't really seen my grandparents without the dementia, so she doesn't understand that they've changed a lot. So they're like, that experience is all she knows of them.
Yeah, me and my brother, we sort of don't get along because I see myself more as my mum's carer, where he sort of doesn't want really anything to do with my mum, in a sense.
Well, Grandma has much more responsibility now that Granddad has been diagnosed. So I think her life's become more stressful now that has happened to Granddad.
It's not as tolling on us, but you still see Grandma and Mum and Dad like struggling with it a bit. But I mean, yeah, it sucks that he can't like drive us places. We can't go down to tennis with him and stuff. We can't go to like the cricket and watch the cricket with him or something.
Grandma does struggle and she does go out a lot, so it does give her a break sometimes, and I go in there and I say hi Granddad and I give him a tea and stuff, like, I help out as well, because like it's hard for Grandma to be 24/7, like she wants to do things, so we help out as much as we can.
But it's harder with my nana because my grandpa is caring for her a lot more than he thought he'd had to, and she doesn't appreciate it. So he puts himself under a lot of stress and she doesn't understand what he's doing. But then also my mum is a big support to the family because she organises the appointments and all the theory about it. So she knows it and understands it.
I think just being all connected with each other and being, understanding each other, it really helps the person with Alzheimer's or dementia. The two biggest things that you need are patience and understanding. Let them take their time because they're going as fast as they can. And then you just have to understand things from their point of view. And I know just myself, I'm not particularly a very patient or understanding person. I'm with a lot of people, but if you know someone has dementia, you just need to make an exception for them and try really hard.
I feel like it's important to enjoy spending time with them.
Yeah, I think hanging out with them a lot more really helps out, because he used to not really go to my footy too much, my footy games, but now ever since I played rep, he came into every game and he supported, and we didn't try to overload his head with all the players as well. And he comes to every cricket game that I play and he loves it. And I think he loves getting outside and really getting to know me more and what's going on in my life.
Even though they've got dementia of some sort, they still have that thing which most grandparents have, which is where they really just want to know what their grandchild is doing, what's going on in their life, how they're spending their time, because they still really love you as grandchildren, despite the dementia.
And Sam and I, we always invite Granddad down to the cricket nets to practice as well. And he also takes us to his tennis club.
Yeah.
And he always has fun. He always has a smile and always wants me to improve my game.
I think it's just to talk to them and understand what they're going through. Like with my grandma, I know that she doesn't really understand. She's not aware of what's around her. And you sort of just need to put yourself in her shoes and try and talk to her the way that you think she'd want to be spoken to. And with my grandma, my nana, I sort of just go along with what she says, and even if she says something ridiculous, because she's really feisty, her mood can just change instantly. So the other day she was saying that she was like married to Elvis Presley or something, and you just need to say something like, oh, I didn't really know that.
It's just all about when you are around them, understanding that it's a lot harder for them than it seems. Like there's always going to be that struggle for them because they're always constantly trying to, get things right. But because of the dementia that they have, it's a lot harder for them than it would be for us. So it's all about understanding for me.
My sister's having a baby soon, so if your sibling is having a baby or they're getting married, they're going to get confused. Like, they're going to be like, she's having a baby? Like, because they still have memory of when they're younger.
Whenever we go on these holidays or, we have these things away, my mum every day writes a letter. And one of the things he finds which makes him really happy, is when my mum just reads him that letter and goes through, and every time we see him, we read him a few more letters, and he seems to really enjoy that.
Sam and I and my mum always go to their house once a week to have dinner with them.
I think having a laugh's the best thing you can do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As a child, you're taught, you have to be caring to others, you have to be, respectful to others. You're just going to make a bigger effort than you've previously made just to embody those traits and, be, most of all, tolerant, I think, with them. Because they're going to do things that irritate you. Everyone does things that irritate you, but especially these people, because they've got Alzheimer's, they're just going to do things that they can't help, and you've just got to accept that. And if they do something like that, just laugh it off, I guess.
Be patient and understand where they're coming from. Sort of not just think about you, but think about their side and how they would feel.
Yeah, just spending time with them while you still can. Just so you have some good memories of them instead of bad ones.
Don't think as your grandparent or a parent as a burden. Like, don't think of them as being annoying. They're there, kind of just, die already, like, you're so annoying me. Like, I can't have my friends over, I can't do anything because you're there. But just don't think of that. Just take it step by step. Every day they'll change. Some days they'll be good, sometimes they'll be bad. They'll have their good days. So just take their good days, cherish it.
I feel like the most important thing you can have is a good sense of humour and patience.
Yeah, don't force it when they're talking to you.
I think they want to feel involved. They want to feel a part of something and worth something.
Yeah. They don't want to be useless.
Yeah.
When I'm exhausted or I've got things to do, I have to get up and then get her ready just to take her to a friend's house or just to the shops so she can get out of the house. So it's sort of just I have to put some of the things that I need to do on hold.
I try to spend time with my dad, but when I take him to my footy games and stuff, he just wants to stand with me. I play fullback, he wants to stand with me and talk to me during the game. You can't do that, you have to go. And he beeps the horn when we get a goal when you're not allowed to do that.
Last year my great aunt died, so my grandma's sister and my grandma didn't understand what happened, so she was sitting at the service and she just kept on asking, what happened, and you had to explain, well, your sister's actually passed away. So that was pretty hard because, each time she'd have a different reaction and you just sort of feel really sad about that instance where she doesn't really know that her sister's gone.
The school aspects it's quite stressful because constantly I'm thinking of Mum. So it's my school's paid, they understand what I'm going through, so they help when they can.
I have to explain to him a lot of stuff when he's watching TV. And when he's watching all the sport, and he always asks, oh, who's that over there? It's oh, it's my team, Granddad, it's Hawthorn and all that. And so I got to help him out, guiding.
The challenge is trying to understand what he's actually trying to say, because he goes, the thing, that thing. And you're just like, what thing? What are you talking about?
My mum forgets words, but because we're from overseas, so we're from Africa, so when she forgets an English word, she says it in Afrikaans, and because I don't know Afrikaans, I sort of just guess what she's meant, and then half the time you sort of just you just play along with it, even though I don't know what she's saying.
Yeah, that's the same with both my grandparents. They just talk in the language that they grew up with, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, and you don't want to belittle them. You don't want to make them feel small and big. They go, he says some things and we laugh because we think it's a joke. And then Grandma goes, it's not a joke. And we go, we just start laughing. He feels, Dad said to me, if you laugh at him, he's never going to talk because he's going to feel self-conscious about talking.
She has it in mind that I'm trying to take over. So she is no, I can still do that. It's my job. But we know that she can't do it, but she thinks that she can do it. And so she gets even more angry if you take it away from her.
My nana, she got it more recently, and she's really feisty because of it. So she starts fights with my grandpa a lot, and she doesn't realise that we're trying to take care of her. They took away her licence because she couldn't drive, and she keeps on going on that they're taking away her freedom.
And he gets angry at me because he thinks I don't spend time with him. When I spend time with him, I invite him to my sport and stuff, he doesn't behave himself, and I tell him off, and then he's like, you hate me. I'm like, I don't hate you. So it's really hard, when he thinks that I don't like him, when I'm trying my best.
It's hard, but because I make it fun for her, so I take her out, I do things that are just me and her. She sort of just she knows that it's still a mother-daughter relationship, but I think the people around us think it's a bit weird because I order her food for her.
I play in 3 basketball teams, but my mum coaches one. So at halftime, he comes over and listens to what she's saying, which is all right. But then in my rep, he comes over as well. And he's not allowed to do that during halftime because it's more serious, and he doesn't understand. I tell him to go away. I'm wasting time, telling him go back, and then my coach is waiting for me. And it's hard to because they don't know what's happening with my dad. They just think it's weird.
Yesterday I took her to the shops, and I had to run and go get something. So I was stay here, don't move. And then so she was oh, okay. But then she moved, but she didn't know where she went. And so when I eventually found her, she was yeah, someone pointed, but I didn't know where they pointed. And I'm Mom, you could just say I've got Alzheimer's.
Yeah, he still thinks he's the same person. He's I don't know why you guys don't like me anymore, I'm still the same. And it's hard because he used to be such a good dad. He would always put everyone else, put everyone else before himself. I try to be nice to him, but then he always tries to pick a fight with me. I don't know why, but he doesn't seem to like me much lately.
On Fridays, me and my parents go out for dinner. We go to the same restaurant. We sit at the same table. The waitresses know me now. It's sort of there's a year 12 that is at a restaurant with her parents. Sort of she's not going out. It's sort of more that I can go out, but I choose not to because I know that my mum probably won't remember me for that long. So I'd rather spend time with her now than have regrets later on.
My friends are all pretty understanding people. They understand, we've all got things that are going on in our lives. We all understand that different things are going on and we work together to try and help each other out. But generally the topic of Alzheimer's doesn't come up that much.
Yeah, I'm the only one of my mates with someone in their life with dementia.
I've told my friends what's happening with my dad, but everyone really thinks he's pretty funny. I tell my friends stories about him, he painted half our fence green. I don't know why, he didn't even finish it. My friends think that's funny. And
I used to be really close with 3 girls. But then when I told them about my mum, they slowly drifted away. So I'm not really that close with them anymore.
And I can't bring my friends over anymore because he'll say something that will offend them.
Yeah, that's sort of like me. I don't have friends over. Pretty much the only friends that come over are really close family friends that help us.
Because they live downstairs in our house. It's just awkward because if I do bring someone over, they're going to walk through the door and if he's standing there, he's going to be like, who's that? Like, he's going to be scared that someone random just walked in.
If like I have a party or something, I have to like check with Dad and make sure that like Mum will be alright when people are over. So we normally have like some of her friends come over, so she at least knows them and can talk to them. Because if she sees my friends, I know that she's gonna say something that's what a mum isn't supposed to say. So I'm just like, I don't want my friends in that situation.
They don't know the bad side of it.
Yeah. So they just think, they're like, oh, your dad's not that bad. I'm like, yes, he is. Like, when they ask to come over to my house, I say, you can't come over because my dad's there. And they're like, no, he's funny. I'm like, not all the time.
Yeah.
If you get frustrated a lot, like I get really frustrated, you should find something that helps you like get it all out. For me, it's sport, but for other people, it might be reading or going for a walk or something. Like sometimes I just have to leave if I'm starting to get really angry. So I'll just leave. I'll go like to the local park and kick the footy or something. Just try and get my mind off it. That's why I've started a lot of sport this year, so I can get out of the house a lot and get away from it and, you know, take my anger out on, like, during the game and stuff.
Whenever I'm frustrated, I call a family friend or I call my dad, and then they're just like, you have a right to be frustrated, like it is a horrible thing, but like you just need to be aware that like you don't really show the person that's got like Alzheimer's what it is.
I talk to my family, I talk to the people who it affects and see their perspective of it, and just sort of understand that I'm not alone and there are other people who feel the same as I do and are affected by my grandparents.
Well, there have been times with my grandfather where I've gotten like really, really frustrated. There was one time I think where I think I was just having a bad day, and then, you know, he was around, which was fine because it's normally fine when he's around, but just in this one particular day, I found it really, really frustrating. And so at times like that, times where you just know you're gonna, you know, snap at some point, just go off and, in my opinion, just be by yourself, not for a huge amount of time, but just for a little bit. Have a bit of time to yourself and then come back and you'll feel a lot better and you'll feel quite refreshed. And then you'll be able to deal with it a lot easier.
Me and my dad and stuff, like we'd always have an argument with Mum, and then I'll like walk away and I'll be like furious, and then Dad's just like, Sarah, you do know that she's gonna forget it in like a minute, like you just need to let it go. I'm just like, okay, you have your times of frustration, but then you can like sort of get back to like the relationship that you had before.
Yeah, I usually just talk to my sister about it. Like, we're really close, so I just really need to talk to her, and then at school I can just let it go because I find it's better if I just don't think about it as much as I can. So at school I just completely forget about it, and then when I get home I deal with it again. Because if it's always on my mind, I'm always stressed. And it's hard to juggle school and friends and also my dad.
I talk to family friends. So there's one that I'm really close to, like, she's like a grandma to me, but I'm not related to her whatsoever. So I call her, or she calls me and says that, like, do you want to come and, like, just go out to the movies? Or, like, I just go to her house, even if, like, I study at her house, and, like, she reassures that I'm doing a good job. Or I talk to one of my close friends. He's a couple of years older, but he knows what I do. So he also reassures that, like, I do a right thing, and, like, I make sure that I'm doing all the things that I used to do.
I was confused when I first heard about it because first time I've heard of it was a conversation about grandma and granddad. There was a little fight, and then I saw a folder like on where granddad was sitting, and the label was Alzheimer's, And then that night I just kept thinking, oh, is he going to forget me? Is his brain not going to function? But then I talked to Mum about it, and then she cleared it all up. So I think try to engage with your parents about it is a big key factor.
Yeah, involve people in it.
Yeah.
Conversations. Go to people, ask her, what's this about? Like, why is he okay? Like, how severe is it? How long do I have with him? And, to ask those sorts of questions.
I feel like it's important that your parents keep you in like the loop of what's happening. Because if they isolate you from it, it just makes it worse.
I learned how important I am to him and how important everyone is to him. I remember on his 79th birthday last year, he said to me that he will never forget me and he'll always try to remember me and what I do. That's when I really realised that I want to spend more time with him and really get to know him more.
I've learned that she relies on me quite a lot because I'm the person that's with her the most.
I've become more mature, because I've had to, because it's different when your parent suddenly becomes like a kid and you have to change your whole, how you talk to them and stuff. So it's I've become more mature over.
I've grown accustomed to it and I've become more stronger about it over time. I think I'm just sort of proud of myself that I haven't really sort of got frustrated with them too much.
I've gotten stronger, it's my life now. So if someone asks me, I'll straight up tell them rather than I used to hide it.
It's just a natural thing. People are going to get sick with different diseases, and for a lot of different things, there is no way of preventing it. It's just something that can happen. And if people try and judge you because of what has happened to someone else in your family, then you've really got to ask why, would you pay respect to them?
I think the worst thing you could do is hide it. Because, if they're ignorant about it, then they might say something or think something that, you can't control. Yeah.
There's really nothing to be ashamed of if your parent or grandparent or anyone in your family has dementia of any sort.